Hear me? Om Shanti. Welcome. Thank you for being here this evening at our Thursday evening insightful conversations. And tonight will be a most insightful conversation. In fact, it's going to be a real conversation because our speaker will be talking to you and you will be hopefully answering back. And that goes for you too, Zoomers. Hi, Zoomers. How are you? And again, I have to make a pitch. Please try and come sometime. It's much different when you're here in this wonderful space. But anyway, we're glad you're here. Is anyone here for the first time tonight? Okay, all seasoned veterans. Great. So welcome. My name is Michelle. I am one of the co-MCs that I share with Louise. And we are in a new month, and it's a beautiful month of June. And it is Raj Yoga for the well-being. We're going to focus on our well-being. And you're shaking your head because well-being is very important. Mind, body, and soul. So tonight, I love the description is a return to self-mastery. And I love that term, that it's return to self-mastery. So I was thinking about self-mastery and the body that we inhabit. 75% of our functions, I've read, is automatic. For example, what's automatic in your body? Heart always pumps. We don't have to think about it. We have to say heart, pump. Lungs, breathe. Inhale air. Do we have to think about that? Think about all the nerves work. If I touch a stove, don't touch that stove. Automatic. Most of the great majority of the things that we do, we don't even have to master. It's done for us, which is quite remarkable. So let me try something else now. Okay. Body, raise your right arm. I had to think about it, right, left. Raise your right arm. There it is. Body, move your left leg. Hey, not so bad. I'm a master of myself in my body. But am I real? What about my mind? And I'm talking about me now. Do you think I'm a master of my mind? That's why I'm here. Because I am shaking your head a little bit. That's why I can say, move your leg and, oh, it's a red light, don't cross the street. That I know. But the most important thing I've learned, and I've been around the block a few times, is the self-mastery of my mind and in turn, how I use my mind to better the world. And that's what we are going to be focused on, I believe, tonight with self-mastery. And what I've learned is that form of mind and self-mastery is through meditation. How many of you have a meditation practice? Practice meaning that at least, I don't want to say even once a day, that during the week you have a time set aside to meditate. I do. And I sit, and there are sometimes I have better meditations than others. So I'm working on that mastery. So just as much as I can control my body, for some reason, stuff gets in the way. Like I'm at work and I think about the next meeting I have. So we're going to take a deep dive today in terms of how to enhance that self-mastery. And it says here, and it's right, it's not always, it's going to be easy. It's not. It takes a lot of practice, but we can create different types of thoughts, noble thoughts, not just mundane thoughts, and elevated thoughts. And we can direct our feelings as well. And I know that's so because I have made transition and transformation in my thoughts. When things are seemingly not well, I can actually control my thoughts and make it better. So I know it can happen. And what that causes is a more inner happiness. So tonight we have a master. It is Sister Madhavi. And Sister Madhavi, I'm just going to briefly read her bio, but I'm going to talk a little bit about Sister Madhavi Patale. Is it Patale? Patale? yeah, Patale, has been a student of Raja Yoga for the past 30 years. It's hard to believe. I'm always amazed. They look so young. Maybe that's it, you know? Maybe that's it. And presently the coordinator of activities for the Brahma Kumaris in Queens, New York. She holds an MBA in finance and human resource management, so she knows about people. She has been involved in creating and facilitating outreach facility activities, sessions, and workshops in companies, libraries, health fairs, and so much more. And she tries to help the individuals connect to their deep spiritual potential and core values. So I'd like to call up Sister Madhavi now. I've had the privilege of getting to know, I used to see Sister Madhavi. She was everywhere. She was, you know, intrepid. She goes everywhere. But we have done a couple of events together, and now I see you a lot. And it's really wonderful to get to know you and to be with you and to share her wisdom with you. So, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Michelle. And thank you, everyone, for being here. So before we start into the topic, let us actually do a few more moments of meditation. I know you all have done it, but just a few more moments of consciously doing it. Okay? So one of the ways that physical posture is also important when we sit for meditation. It's not that all the time we have to sit like this, which relax, but still keep your back straight. And your head needs to be straight, not like this or like this. Try and keep it straight. And it's up to you if you want to close your eyes or open, but just be very gentle on your eyes. It's not about just staring, keeping your eyes and, staring all the time, or it's not that you keep your eyes all the time closed. Because if you keep your eyes all the time closed, notice yourself after some time, your mind starts to wander. So it's very, very gentle kind of movement of eyes, half open, half closed, or just keep it very gentle. So those are few things, in terms of body. And don't hold anything in your hand, just keep yourself relaxed, put things aside, your phone, everything. And I request also those who are online to do the same thing. If you're listening to the session, take a few moments, sit down. If you're having your tea or anything, put aside and just give this time for yourself. I gently relax all my physical senses. Allow the senses to relax. Slow down. Consciously do this. Slow down gently. Slow down all the muscles of your physical body. No rush. And as you do this, experience all the muscles of your physical body slowing down. Look at your face as a detached observer. All the muscles of your face, no tension or stress. Relax all the muscles, slow down. As my physical senses are feeling relaxed and still, I look at my mind. I gently slow down my thoughts. Again, no rush to create any more thoughts. Slow down, a gentle break. Consciously do it. Slow down. As my thoughts slow down slowly, I can experience a wave of calm. Now catch yourself if you're still thinking something. Hold that peaceful wave, that calm of your mind. In the state of awareness, in the state of experience of calm, I can feel beyond all these senses. I, the master, the being who is observing the calmness of the mind, who is observing the stillness of the physical senses, experience. I, the being, the observer. I, the being, a silent mind, silently observing everything. Hold that silence within. Hold it. The more I am silent, the more I hold the silence, the more I experience self-mastery. Power of the master is in the silence. The silence is creating stability. So 1 minute, I hold the silence of the inner self. Hold it. Om Shanti. Were you able to hold the silence? In this 8 or 10 minutes of meditation, did you experience your mind wandering? It wandered? You couldn't hold it. It was back and forth. Right. But whenever it was drifting off, were you able to hold it back? Good. Very good. So this is one of the important practices. We all actually talk about silence, or we all say, okay, let us take a moment of silence. How many of you really seriously take that moment of silence, or do you wait for that silence to finish? Right? Many times it happens, like we say, let's take a minute of silence. Oh, we don't know what to do in that minute of silence. We just wait. Okay, we close our eyes, or we open our eyes and we just wait for that moment of silence to finish. Like there was someone who was just learning meditation and he was introduced to traffic controls. You all must be knowing about traffic controls, right? So during the day, a few times we actually pause, no matter what we are doing, because the morning we're just rushing, we're running. Just think, without break, you're just driving the whole day, your car. We all need those breaks, right? So in the same way, that sort of pause, moments of pause in our thoughts. So he was just practicing that, he was introduced, and a few days after I asked him, like, okay, how was it? Like, your traffic controls. And it made me really laugh. He said, for now, like, I'm just waiting for the 3 minutes to finish. So sometimes that's what we do, consciously. We actually even forget that we are meditating. We come and sit here, or we take some time out and we sit. But physically we are sitting. but our thoughts are still wandering. But if the thoughts are wandering, is that meditation? Am I really meditating? Or just I'm sitting and then my time is just passing?
About your meditation commentary, you kept repeating, slow down, slow down. I found no one's ever done that during a meditation. I thought that was really helpful for me because oftentimes what's causing me to drift and move and is the mind wandering of the next thing I have to do. I always felt if you can slow down, even during the day, your activity level, your thoughts, what you're doing, multitasking, if you slow down, everything could change. And that for me, I think my engine runs at a faster speed than others know that. But you saying that slow down really caused me to go deeper and deeper. So I thank you. I'm going to use that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. So even if you see dancers, right? Like really good dancers, if you ask them the way they actually teach anything, it could be, any form of art and especially dance, like when you, the way they teach is like they go very slow. Sometimes, the students say, no, we want faster. But the teacher, the master would say that unless you learn how to be stable in your pose, in your position, you cannot actually dance fast. So anything you learn initially is to slow down and learn, because when you slow down, you have to give those gaps in your thought. Otherwise, you're just sitting, you're just like, okay, I learned another thing. I just listened another thing. But what we are all lacking is practice. All we are lacking is just rush, 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 everything. Okay, every time I'm coming for meditation, I learn another thing. But I didn't give that space, that time to actually look into it, to stabilize on what I have learned. Did I even revisit it? So, in dance, that's what you have to do. You have to actually slowly learn. I mean, in the sense, slow in the sense I'm just going, in a very slow motion. It's not that. Sometimes people think, oh, that's too passive. No, it is not. If I have to create great plans or anything, it all comes from that silent mind. It all comes from slowing down my thoughts, slowing down. Only then I'll have the grip. And once I slow down, I have that grip, then I know how to actually continue with it. So learning always happens when I actually sit down, slow down, be present. If I'm not present, then I'm like, oh, in a rush, I want to learn, I want to learn. It doesn't happen like that. I may learn, but what happens is the foundation isn't strong. What happens in a rush, you'll tell your contractors, in 2 weeks, I want the foundation to be done, the foundation to be built, whatever. Like, very quickly, I want the foundation to be built. Okay, they build the foundation. Okay, and then you go to the first floor, second floor. By the time you get to the third floor, what happens? It collapses because the foundation is not strong enough. So when I'm even learning Raj Yoga or any art in life, I have to slow down, sit, give time. If I don't do that, I mean, it's not that, okay, I'll take my own sweet time. Even that's not right. That means somewhere I'm going wrong, something that I can learn in so many days. I'm just taking my own sweet time and saying, oh, it's not possible and this and that. So one thing is that, we all say, oh, it's very hard to actually concentrate. It's hard to meditate. Many times we say, okay, if it is hard to meditate, it's okay for your mind to keep wandering and getting tensed or whatever. Which one will you want to choose? let the mind just wander, not sit at one place? Or do I really want to make an effort to master that? So many times, we say this is hard and that is hard. So which one I want to, practice? Something I have to choose. But I think what to do, I get really angry. I lose control over my mind. I lose control over my words. Okay, that's hard. And then I say, oh no, it's so difficult to actually, be peaceful or be nice to people. Okay, then which one should I opt? Something I should choose. I can't sit with this. This is hard and that is hard. Where will I go then? Huh? Like if we all say, oh, it's like I'm obese, I'm gaining weight, what to do? Okay, it's hard. Then if I say my exercise every day, doing it is also hard, then somewhere I have to draw the line and do it. No, I can't say both are hard and then I sit back. Nothing is happening. So going slow, and this is where self-mastery comes. So one of the important aspects, we're talking about self-mastery because everyone wants to be a master, right? Even you ask a little child also, he'll say, yeah, he doesn't want to be subservient. Nobody wants to be subservient. But the reality is we're all the time subservient to everything around us. Unknowingly, we are subservient. We want to be master, but somewhere we're not making that effort to be a master. But then we don't want to be subservient. But every moment we are actually subservient. We're subservient to time. We're subservient to relationships, people, our emotions. We're subservient to nature. So many things we are subservient to. Our own senses, we're subservient to. And we are really consciously, we're not realizing. So one of the greatest creations of God is actually the soul. And who is a soul? I am a soul, right? I am a soul. I am that highest creation of God who is filled with potential. But then this potential, I need to explore. To explore this potential, I need to turn inwards. Because subservience is always, my senses are out there, being influenced by everything, how you're being with me, how is this going on, how is the situation, and what's going on out there. So subservience is being, my senses being out there. But mastery is my senses are turning within. So turning inwards. I turn inwards and look at myself. The moment I start to look at myself, then I'm a master. I look at others, then I'm becoming subservient or anything out there. So a master is always looking at himself. My third eye is towards myself. So the first and foremost thing is the awareness is that, yes, I am a master, a soul, a being, right? The highest creation of God or source you can call, right? And so I, the being, the soul, is managing these physical senses and also the subtle senses, right? So I, the being, I have this little vehicle body, right, to drive. So when you came here, who drove your car? You drove, or of course, maybe somebody, your friend or somebody, or did your car drive by itself? Who drove the car? You drove, right? Unless you have an electric car, you have Tesla or something, and you relax sitting back. Let the car drive. That's another story. But still, you have to still create that system, right? You have to give the command for the car to drive itself. So in the same way, I, the being, I, the soul, I, the master, right here, right? I'm the one who has all these senses to drive. But today, it's the opposite that's happening. All my senses are so enthusiastic to drive me, right? So they're driving me instead of I driving. So the first and foremost, for the master to drive or to manage or to make these senses, move in my direction, is the awareness that I am the master. This is the first thing. I'm a master. I'm a soul. Right? Because if this awareness is absent, then nobody's going to listen to me. No sense organ is going to listen to me. Right? It's just like somebody who's in a position. If he forgets I am in this position, nobody's going to listen to him. And that's why this meditation is called Raja Yoga, Raja, which means the king. So Raja Yoga, the practice of Raja Yoga is coming back to, it's a return to self-sovereignty. It's like identifying, not just identifying, but living, I, the soul, I, the being, I'm the master. Taking control of my emotions, taking control of my opinions, ideas, my deep impressions of the soul. So in this process, many times we lose it. A lot of times we lose it. Even those of us who are meditating, we do lose it, but quickly coming back. But then mastering where I don't lose it at all. And the second thing I want to share is, the first is awareness that I am a master. The second is consistency. If I do anything consistently, again and again and again and again, don't I become a master in it? For sure. But the problem is that we all forget. So easy to forget. Again, why do we forget? Because we are subservient. We're all the time subservient to something around us, which is making me forget who am I. So coming back to myself is coming back to self-sovereignty. Coming back to myself is coming back to my peace, my power, my inner strength. Coming back to myself is coming back to my self-esteem, my self-dignity. On the contrary, subservience is, if you say you are dumb, okay, I'll accept. It's like being a puppet, losing everything what I have. Anyone can push my buttons. I'm just like a puppet. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I'm okay, sometimes I'm like so happy. Sometimes somebody praised me, wow, right? So it's like mood fluctuation is subservience. On the other hand, self-mastery is being stable inside. It's respect, disrespect, I'm in the same, mood. Somebody praised me, somebody defamed me. I have that inner stability. Because otherwise, what happens? We are always fluctuating like this. So that inner fluctuation is subservience. All the time, the way you're treating me, I'm fluctuating internally, is subservience. But no matter how you're treating me, how you're talking to me, but I'm stable within, is self-mastery. So all of this is what coming back to the self and knowing myself, understanding myself and being myself is the most powerful thing. We know about everything in the world, but we don't know about ourselves, my own self. So I think about it, you know about this invention and that invention. Somebody comes and asks you, who are you? What's your name? Where do you live? You're like scratching your head. I don't know who am I. Where do I live? How bizarre it will be that I don't know myself. So you've been coming and you've been listening to some of the Raj Yoga lessons. So you know that, we have this physical identity. So we are very much aware of our physical identity, but identity of the self. So again, you all must have learned that physical identity is something I've acquired. So I'm very much aware of what I've acquired. But what I'm losing today is about my own self, my own self identity. Anywhere I am, I go to work, I am at home, I'm, whatever it is, we have completely lost ourselves. Right? And so I'm just playing with the rhythm, what's going on outside, and that's how I'm playing, like a puppet. So knowing I'm a soul is the most powerful thing. Yesterday, we have a doctor who's come from India. He was saying that one of the things that it fascinated him to come to Brahma Kumaris and learn this knowledge is that the knowledge of the soul. He was saying that being a doctor, I think I know everything, but I come to these people and then they're talking about the soul and I'm totally unaware of it. I don't know about my own self. I know my identity as a doctor. I know my identity of, how many degrees and my academic status and all of that. But I don't know the soul. I'm a being of light. So this awareness is very, very powerful. So coming back to the self, the soul, where I experience all the inner powers, which we can name it as, which we can call it as the inner Shakti, the power that we all need to cope with different things in life. So a master uses his powers, right, in different forms to cope with different things. I'm not sure how many of you saw this Kung Fu Panda. Did you watch that? In that, the teacher wants him to become, this warrior, this powerful one. And he's teaching him and he says, you have to become like this. Look at them, they're doing. He says, no, I don't want to become anyone like anyone. But then the teacher says, you don't have to become like anyone. You have to become what you are. Self-mastery is going back to that self-sovereignty, becoming what I am, who I am. And who I am, I'm this wonderful soul who has all the potential in me, but then I keep forgetting and losing that. And then I feel weak, then I feel I don't have it, then we have self-criticism and all of that. And then we become subservient to our own emotions. So remember, Raj Yoga is a practice of coming back to your own self. That's the most powerful thing. If I can practice that sort of consistency, if I have, every day, not just once in a while. Oh yeah, I meditate. When did you meditate last time? Maybe 2 months ago. Or I meditated last week. No, it doesn't work like that. Now let me actually replace this word, make it more simple. Replace this word meditation or yoga with remembrance. Raj Yoga is that practice of, the reality and the spirituality that we have forgotten. Basically just remembering. Remembering is yoga. Remembering is meditation. But what we do the whole day, we remember something that is external to us. We're remembering people, we're remembering situations, we're remembering the past. We live in the past so much. We're remembering what happened yesterday, or we're worried about something that is going on in the future. All of this remembrance, all the time we're remembering something that is external to me. But taking some time to remember what is reality. Who am I? What am I? What is my potential, my inner power? Something that I remember again and again becomes mine, becomes me, becomes I, the being. Right? I'm remembering anything, I'm start to act like them, whatever is external. But it's just remembrance. So when you come in and sit here, or you're in the subway, you're driving, or anywhere, it's just creating that remembrance, bringing back that awareness. Remembering I'm a peaceful being of light. Remembering I'm a powerful being, I have the power. And I can stop this right now. Just holding that awareness, remembrance. In any moment when I feel I'm weak, I can't do this. Just coming back to that reality, that truth, that awareness, that remembrance. No, I can do it. I have the power, I have the strength, I am courageous. When somebody is criticizing me and looking at me, I'm useless. Just reminding that I am, this soul who has wisdom. I know I'm staying in that, I have that sort of dignity, stay in that dignity. So holding myself, being my own self, not how others think or what the world is saying, how others see me. No, 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 no. So self-sovereignty. And so when I'm self-sovereign, when I have that inner strength, inner power, then I know how to actually drive my mind. Once I was in one of the companies, I don't remember which one, but when I was sharing this young one, she said, oh no, it's so difficult. We are so busy with work and all of this. How can we meditate? And said, do you take subway or do you drive to your workplace? She said she takes subway. How long does it take for you to walk from subway to your workplace? She said 7 minutes. Okay, every day, just that 7 minutes. You don't have to do a lot. No? Because something you have forgotten, and now you're trying to remember it. Even if you remember for a few moments, it's wonderful. Keep doing it. Because drop by drop, it becomes ocean, right? Every step counts. So I said, that's 7 minutes when you're walking from your subway to your workplace. 7 minutes, can you hold an awareness? And consciously hold it, any awareness that you want to hold. Today, I'm just a peaceful being. Or today, I'll do great at my work. I'm a very special person. Something, an affirmation that is very positive and pure. Hold it like you are a king and you're holding it. That's you. That 7 minutes, can you do that? And she did it. And so the next time when I went to meet, do the session, asked her, how was it? She said, the way she started her work actually shifted her consciousness. Before she said, I would just rush. And with all this tension of work, I would just sit and I'm opening my laptop and I'm like, so already tired, starting the work early in the morning at 8:30. When she said, but it shifted the way I started my work. At least those moments, I would come, I'm relaxed, I know I'm in this affirmation, I can do it, I'm starting my work. So these little shifts, I don't have to just run, I want to get there. No, nobody will get there. It's a process. And again, every step counts. It's not after 2 years coming here, you would say, oh, what did I learn? Oh, the same old story I'm learning about soul. No. Oh, I still didn't, conquer this, or still my mind wanders. But just think, when you came for the first time, first lesson here, and now there is a shift. There's always shift. So every step counts. Every step matters. If we don't take those steps, how will we reach our, the place we want to be? Right? So even like a few moments of experience that you have, it's wonderful. All I need to do is just capture those moments, and I want to get the same experience. Or, sometimes there are ups and downs. It's not that we're always, moving towards a progress. Sometimes there are downs for sure. Anybody who says I don't have any problem, no situation, everything is wonderful here. Now, we all have twists and turns in our life. That's why we say life is a journey, right? We all experience ups and downs and twists and turns, and suddenly things can happen. Suddenly, just like last week, I know actually a couple of weeks ago, somebody that I know, a friend of mine, her mother just passed away a day before Mother's Day, suddenly. And their family was preparing something, the children were preparing something for the mother. And just think, suddenly on that day, Saturday, she just passed away. So sudden things can happen. So life is not always, even if you think, oh, sister, you're sitting here, it's easy for you to tell. Yeah, but then we live in an organization. Everyone, I'm telling you, every person has to. Self-mastery means we all have to conquer our fears, our, our whatever, our, our defects or our weaknesses, or everyone. Nobody's just going to sit in one place and talk about things, and nobody's going to become a master, right? So we all have to deal. And the thing about becoming self-mastery is that whatever we fear and we don't want to do it, or we dislike, or we are actually weak at, that's what will come again and again to make me master. If I don't like someone, again and again, that person will come in front of me until I like them. That's how it is. Mastery is what? I don't have, like, really no, I'm like conquering it, mastering it. I'm not battling always. Again, this person is there. Oh, hello, how are you? Nice. But then inside, I'm not comfortable. It's not like that. But somewhere you're conquering it, overcoming it. Something I'm fearful, that thing will come again and again. Because that's where my mastery is. Something that you don't like, something that is you're weak about, that thing will come. Say anger or anything, any emotion that I'm sensitive about will come to me again and again until I master that. Because that's how it is, even in the physical, test papers, what we score at school or anywhere, until you pass that exam, where I'm weak at, I cannot move forward. That's how it is in life. So, but consistency is important. Because again, another thing about self-mastery is like, I may be doing it, like say, okay, I'm meditating, everything's wonderful. And suddenly you will find inside yourself, like some emotion suddenly erupting. And you'll think, where did this come from? Why did I become so agitated about this? Why did I get so disturbed about this? Why did I act so fearful about this? Where did this emotion come from? I thought I was meditating, but it'll come because we have something called deep impressions in the soul. So until we conquer them, they keep coming back, but in this whole process, no disappointments. Sometimes we can get very disappointed. Oh, again, this happened. Oh, I don't want to do anything. So the last step in self-mastery, so this is where, no disappointment. Okay, I have to get up and do it again. And the last thing is that doubt. So when I'm doing something, I can doubt myself. That's where the last bit is. Like, am I doing really right? You know, I've really come to the margin. I've done really good, but somewhere a doubt comes. I don't know. And that doubt really pulls us back. So again, self-mastery means I have to conquer my doubts as well. So I'll pause here. There may be many, many things I must have not covered. But of course, time is limited. We can sit here and talk about it. But any questions, anything that you want to comment on? Or...
Questions? Okay. 1 minute. Yeah, well, only because the people upstairs are well noticed.
When you talk about mastery, are you talking more about lessons that are coming to us and we have to overcome? Is that what you are using as your definition as mastery?
Self-mastery is like the first thing that we spoke about is the awareness of I being the master, I being the soul. So this practice of soul consciousness, this practice of I the being, you know, I the being of peace, I the being who is powerful, I the being. So this awareness, this consciousness is actually going to, you know, make you and be that master to control your mind, to control your wandering intellect, to control your impressions or habits. And so that's the practice of being I, the soul.
But isn't it important for us to understand that no matter what we do, we can try to control, but we're not really in control?
Nothing outside of me I can control. That's the reality. Even I try to control, it'll go out of my hands. Okay, one day I can control, but always, okay, somebody didn't do the way I want something. Okay, I control them. Okay, do like this, do like this. But again, they repeat, how many times? Or anything it could be. And we know controlling is an aspect that is coming from somewhere, a deep attachment. And the more I'm attached to something very deeply, I want to control it. But the reality is, the more I'm attached, the more I'm controlling, the more it's slipping out of my hand.
So the mastery is really the
So
understanding.
mastery is your self-control.
Mhm.
Mastery is going back to yourself, being the observer of your own self. Mastery is like being aware, who am I? Mastery is like knowing that I have these three powerful faculties of mind, intellect, and sanskars, and I have the power to actually control them. So again, instead of saying control my mind, I want to control my mind, mind will say, bye-bye. I don't want you to control. Right? So even this control aspect of mind, we should replace it. It's like, you know, my mind is like a child. The best way to actually manage and make my mind my friend is the practice which our founder father did, Brahma Baba. The practice that he did to manage his mind, to make his mind close to him is talking to the mind. Early morning hours, he used to do a lot of contemplations, even in the evenings. And what he used to do is he used to talk to his own mind. Oh, mind, what do you want? Why are you running? You know, why are you remembering this thing? What do you want? So he used to do this talk to his mind. And so that helped him. Like, you know, like the mind is listening to you. Yes. And slowly, it's like not controlling the mind, but you're actually making your mind close to you. That's why, you know, you all heard this topic so many times, making my mind my best friend. How will I make my mind my best friend?
So it's,
not by controlling, but it's like talking to my mind, being gentle on my mind, guiding my mind. And this whole process is like reminding my mind something that I've forgotten. What did I forget? I forgot about myself. I forgot about my potential. I forgot about my inner power. I forgot how powerful I am. So this is what I am, in this process, I'm empowering my mind. So it's not like controlling, but empowering my mind. And that's like creating a relationship with mind. And that's what a relationship is, right? In a relationship, both parties are empowering each other. That's relationship. So the soul is empowered, the soul is empowering the mind. So my mind is empowered. Instead of like my mind is, driving me nuts, my mind is doing this, my mind is not listening. No, Raj Yoga is all about working with my mind, making my mind close to me. But again, it's a practice. It's a practice.
so it's
So
about
this,
it's about creating muscle memory in a sense in the mind. Where you practice. It's a positive affirmation that you're doing regularly. And eventually, just like exercising every single day, your muscles get strong,
right?
your mind gets strong as well.
Exactly. So who is practicing this? Who is practicing? Who is practicing talking to the mind? Who is practicing, empowering the muscle, building this inner muscle? Who is doing all of this? I, the soul. I, the soul, the master, I'm doing all of this. It's not my body, right? So if I ask you, do you have a soul? What will you answer?
Yes,
Yes, you have a soul, or are you a soul?
yes.
Which one, the first one or the second one?
Well, I'm both. Oh.
Yes, I am a soul.
Yes.
Right? It's not I have a soul, but I am a soul. I, the soul, doing all of this.
Thank
Mhm.
Thank you. I liked so much of what you said, and I don't have a question. It's more an, as you say, an affirmation. The things, and I like what you brought up about muscle memory, because I was thinking the same thing, that it is what you said about practice, not practice, slow is very important. I am actually learning to play the violin late in life. Fiddle, I call it fiddling rather than violin. And my instructor said, because I have a tendency, again, I want to get ahead. I want to, time is short. I have to practice. I have to get better. She said, Yitzhak Perlman, if I don't know if you've heard of Yitzhak Perlman, one of the finest violinists, has said, practice is slow. When you do your scales, he's a master. Slowly, he practices every day, as you said, consistently, slowly, consistently, and in silence. She also brought up the term silence, and that constant repetition, years and years, has made him a master. So why would it be different with meditation? It stands to reason that all these things will lead to that. But how much do we devote to our soul? We devote to our body, exercise, our job. If we take a piece of the pie, how much do we devote to our spiritual? Most people give slim to nothing, because at least the people that I hang out with, they give to their job, they give to their family, and they practice at this with their family, they go out with them. But how much do you imagine the power that we would harness if we spent 1/10 the time we put in our job and and building our muscles? Imagine the power. That's one thing and I've seen it when I really put the pedal to the metal with my meditation. Wow. But then sometimes, and then I can feel the weakness, but there is muscle memory.
So it's like the soul is in the
Good
center of the
question.
forehead, right here. In the center of the forehead, the soul resides, right? I, the soul, I'm here in the center of the forehead. And, sorry? So for that, I would say, take the Raj Yoga course, because in the Raj Yoga course, all of this is very well explained. Again, don't rush your course. Okay. I just want to,
Yeah, you wanna
finish
know.
it off. But take your time, finish your course and give yourself that time. Again, don't miss it. Okay, I'll do one lesson and then I came back the second, third lesson, fourth lesson. No, give the time consistently, understand what's being taught, and all of these things are taught. Where is the soul and why is the soul in the center of the forehead? How the soul is such a tiny point of light which is unseen to these physical eyes. This powerful being, we cannot see with these physical eyes, but this little tiny subtle point of light does everything through the body. We've created this world. Look at this world, all the science, technology, this, that, whatever. It's the soul doing, right? We're constructing, we're destroying everything the soul is doing through this body, through the senses. And so we learn everything about the soul. But this tiny soul, how is this tiny soul working? What is consciousness? What are mind, intellect, and sanskars? How the soul is a living being with this, how with this consciousness, how the soul works. All of these things you will be learning in the Raj Yoga Foundation course. So I would really, recommend all of you, please take out time, because we take out time for so many things. But, the things that are very important, we say that is hard, as I was saying, we don't want to do that, but somewhere we have to start. So really take time, know when the Raj Yoga Foundation course goes on here at the center. And I would say do your 7 lessons, and in those 7 lessons of Raj Yoga, you learn a lot and learn a lot. And as Michelle, emphasized again back to that, slowing down. You remember that story which we all learned when we are kids, the story of the turtle, the tortoise and the hare and the tortoise story. Do you know? Yeah. You know how the tortoise took its time, but consistency. That's where the tortoise won. And so that consistency, slowing down, that silence, commitment a little bit, giving yourself that time doing will actually help. All of these are very practical things. If we don't want to complain about our anger, our emotions, and, our worries and all of that, then we should do something about it, right? So do take out some time. It'll help.
Doing a brief meditation so
Sure.
we could practice
Mhm.
that. If we can hold that.
Sure. Again, these are whatever we have done, keep them as little practice. As I would say today, when you go back home, write a little journal, or tomorrow when you have some time, make some, okay, this is what I learned. What are 2 or 3 practices I would extract from this session? Like slowing down is one, being consistent, being soul conscious, just taking those moments and experiencing on a point of light, on a little tiny spark of light. I'm a peaceful being of light. I'm the soul. So different practices, you can just jot down like 2 or 3 practices. That's more than enough. You don't have to think, oh, I have to practice so much. No, start from simple. That works the best. Okay, let's take a moment now. So again, just relax yourself. Back straight, head straight. And just gently slowing down. Go straight. My mind. Mind, let's slow down. It's nothing to think about. There's nothing to rush about. Just slow down. Just have this conversation with your mind. Mind, are you feeling peaceful now? As you slow down, Are you feeling peaceful? It's as if I, the soul, I'm looking at my mind. Mind is just very quiet. Mind is responding to me, yes, my master. I'm at peace. I'm just holding very peaceful thoughts. I'm floating in an experience of deep calmness. I, the being, the soul, a tiny spark of light, sparkling in the center of the forehead. I'm listening to my mind becoming quiet and peaceful. I'm experiencing, I am experiencing, I am a point of light experience. Right now, experience this. This is the moment. Experience beyond these physical senses. I'm a being of light. I'm not physical. I'm a living energy. A tiny point of light. Very subtle and silent. I, the soul, I'm the master of the senses. I'm the master of my mind. The silence of the soul is power. So I'm experiencing powerful silence. The power within silence. Hold it. Hold. Your mind is just with you, listening to you. Hold this awareness. Now, as I walk, as I talk, as I drive back home, I hold this awareness that I am a soul doing, performing every action through this body. I hold this true awareness of myself. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Madhavi. So with slowing down comes clarity. So thank you all for being here and thank you Zoomers for sticking with us. I know you're still here with us. Next week, we will be discussing, it's actually going to be a panel discussion of some of the students here, and it's good, they're going to be discussing their benefits that they feel they've had with the study and the benefits of Raja Yoga. So it's going to be some of the students here will be discussing that. So we hopefully you will join us, and you too, Zoomers. Please stay for Toli. We'll give you Toli and your blessing card and Om Shanti. And if you're interested, you can sign up for classes. As we mentioned, as Sister mentioned, we have classes here, and the classes, and I want to emphasize, it helps also having, that question was very important because I was in your shoes not very long ago, the knowledge, to get that education, if you will, that knowledge that enhances that spirituality too, but one step at a time when you're ready. And so you could sign up on our email list if you're not on it and don't get emails, but Om Shanti, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thank you.